Hi everyone, welcome back to another exciting program. So today we're going to be looking into an issue where we have a user unable to remote into a particular PC. In this case, it's going to be a virtual machine. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab this virtual machine and let me go ahead and show the error message. This is virtual machine 2, I believe. And I want to go ahead and log in as one of the users I created, MJ, and I'm going to see if I can log into this PC. If I can get the password to be correct, then I can log in. And of course, the requested session access is denied. So the other thing you want to do, you want to make sure that Active Directory, your settings in Active Directory is right. You want to go here to Active Directory and make sure that the users have the right permissions and they have the right, they are in the right group. So we go to Michael Jackson, go to Properties, and he's a member of the domain users. And we want to go into Group Policy Management, and we go to Default Policy, or the policy that houses the setting on your Active Directory. In my case, it's the default domain policy, and I'm going to go to Policies, and I'm going to go to Windows Settings, and I'm going to go to Security, and I want to go to Local Policy. And here we just open that up a little bit, and then we have User Rights Assignments. And under User Rights Assignments, I can see that domain users are allowed to log on. Okay, so the other thing you want to make sure that you have set up is on the actual user machine itself. So we want to go back here, and I'm going to sign in as an admin with my domain admin account. And I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that the settings that I want are properly set up in this PC, and that's Windows 11-02. So I'm going to come here, hit run, type in sysdm.cpl, or you can type in system settings, and you can come down to the remote settings, allow remote assistance connection to this PC. That's okay. And then we want to select that, and we can see clearly under remote desktop users, only Jane Doe is allowed to have remote access to this PC. Now, if you want Michael Jackson to have access to this PC as well, we want to go ahead and add him here. The reason why, by default, this is actually empty. This is actually a white space. By default, in the corporate world, we typically assign a PC, a workstation, to one user, that thereby eliminating chaos or conflict or confusion. Imagine if Michael Jackson could work on Jane Doe's PC and Jane Doe can work on Michael Jackson's PC. And let's say they are in both these users are in two different departments. One user is in accounting and the other user is in human resources. Of course, there's going to be a conflict, and the PC is not going to be able to. It's going to run into a lot of permission issues, and this is just going to be a troubleshooting nightmare for an administrator. So, when we set up a user's PC, we typically give them the remote access to just that one PC that they have access to. What you don't want to do is to assign a group here called domain users, and that way every single user in the company can log into every other person's PC, and every other person can log into every other person's PC, and that just becomes a nightmare. So if we want to go ahead and fix that issue, we can go ahead and add Michael Jackson to this. I'm going to check names. I'm going to hit OK, hit OK, hit OK. And I'm going to log out of my admin account and sign out. So now we know that Michael Jackson has access to this. So I'm going to come here. So the moment of truth, I should be able to log on with my MJ account. If I can't, then well, sorry. There we go. And it says Michael Jackson welcome. So always keep in mind that it's a troubleshooting step, right? By default, once you stand up a PC, you want to assign it to a specific user, and you always want to make sure that that remote desktop, if the user is ever going to be remote, you always want to make sure that you set that up properly for that specific user to use. Now, if you were in a, for instance, in a school setting where you have different students using different PCs at different times, of course you want to go ahead and put domain users so that when a student comes into a classroom, they can log on to any PC that is there. That would be one scenario I can see why they would want to go ahead and use domain users for all PCs. But for a specific workload in the corporate setting, you want to assign that specific one user to that, and that makes it easier for when that user leaves, you can go ahead and remove that user's permission, and user is not is going to be unable to sign in. This has been Brother Clean, brought to you by WayTutors. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.